Have you ever dreamed of quitting your job and turning your passion into a business? Maybe you bake incredible cakes, or design beautiful websites, or fix cars like nobody else can. One day you think, why work for someone else when I can be my own boss? So you do it. You start your own business. And for a while it feels good, liberating even. But slowly, things begin to unravel. You're working more hours than ever. You're exhausted. You're handling everything. And the dream you once had is starting to feel like a prison. This right here is where the E-Myth lives. And today we're going to unravel it completely. Welcome to the E-Myth Revisited, a journey into why most small businesses fail and what to do if you want to make yours thrive. Before we dive into the heart of this powerful book, let's take a moment to understand who wrote it and why it matters to all of us, whether we run a business or not. Michael E. Gerber isn't just a business consultant. He's one of the world's most respected voices in entrepreneurship. For decades, he's worked with thousands of small business owners, watching them struggle, succeed, and sometimes burn out completely. Out of those years of experience came this book, The E-Myth Revisited: Why Most Small Businesses Don't Work and What to Do About It. But don't let the title fool you. This isn't just a book about business. It's a book about clarity, about freedom, about understanding how to design a system in your work, your habits, your goals that sets you free instead of keeping you stuck. Because the truth is, even if you're not a business owner, you still face the same battle. Feeling overwhelmed, doing too much alone, reacting instead of planning, confusing being busy with being effective. This book helps you shift that mindset. It teaches you how to step back, zoom out, and start building a life, a career, a dream, intentionally. So whether you're an entrepreneur, freelancer, creator, or just someone trying to take back control of your time and purpose, the E-Myth Revisited will speak to you. Let's begin. Let's begin with a dream. A familiar one. You're sitting at your desk at work, staring at your computer screen, tired of the same old routine. You think to yourself, why am I doing this? I could be working for myself, doing what I love, being free. You think about the thing you're passionate about. Maybe you're a photographer, a baker, a web designer, or a yoga instructor. You've got the skills. People praise your work. You've even got a few side gigs that are picking up steam. And then, in a moment that feels bold and brave, you take the leap. You quit your job. You decide to open your own business. And for a while, it's exciting. Really exciting. You're your own boss. You design your logo, launch your website, announce your services to the world, and get your first few clients or customers. Feels like a dream coming true. But then something strange begins to happen. The work piles up. You're not just doing the thing you love anymore. You're sending invoices, managing your taxes, answering emails at midnight, fixing website errors, and trying to learn how marketing works. You're overwhelmed. You're tired. You're constantly switching hats. Being the creator, the customer service rep, the accountant, the marketer, the cleaner, the everything. And slowly, your passion begins to feel like a prison. Michael Gerber calls this moment the entrepreneurial seizure. It's that spark, that burst of emotion, where a technician decides, I could do this for myself. But here's where the myth begins to unravel. You see, most people don't start businesses because they are entrepreneurs. They start them because they're good at a specific skill. And they think being good at that skill means they know how to run a business that offers that skill. But that's the fatal assumption. Just because you're good at baking doesn't mean you know how to run a bakery. Just because you're great at photography doesn't mean you understand how to manage bookings, finances, customer experience, and marketing. The E-Myth, the entrepreneurial myth, is this very idea. That being a skilled technician automatically qualifies you to be a successful business owner. But it doesn't. In fact, it might even be working against you. Because the very thing you're passionate about begins to drown under the weight of all the things you never prepared for. Let's talk about Sarah, a character Gerber uses to illustrate this exact trap. Sarah makes the best pies in town. Her friends rave about them. Her family says she could open her own bakery. She gets glowing reviews at local bake sales. One day, fed up with her job and filled with dreams of owning her own place, Sarah opens Sarah's All-American Pies. She imagines a charming little bakery filled with the smell of fresh fruit and flaky crust. She pictures herself smiling behind the counter, wearing a cute apron, chatting with customers, watching them enjoy every bite. But within a few months, that dream starts to crack. What? Because now Sarah is waking up at 4 a.m. to prep ingredients. She's baking non-stop. She's handling supplier invoices, managing her cash register, hiring staff who keep quitting, responding to complaints, trying to figure out how Instagram ads work, and staying up late trying to do her books. She's stressed, snappy, disconnected from the very thing she used to love, baking. She's not living her dream. She's surviving her business. And Gerber says, this happens to almost everyone who starts a business without understanding what business really is. So what's the lesson here? That being good at your craft is not enough. Gerber wants us to understand that a business is not just a job you own. It's a living, breathing system that requires design, structure, and vision. And without the right mindset, one that goes beyond doing the work and into building something bigger than yourself, your business will consume you. Most people don't build businesses. They just build jobs for themselves, jobs that often pay worse and demand more than the jobs they left. And this is the heart of the entrepreneurial myth. It's not enough to be talented. It's not enough to love what you do. Because passion without structure leads to burnout. But here's the good news. If you've started a business and you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or like your passion is dying, it doesn't mean you've failed. It means you've reached the truth behind the e-myth. And now that you see it clearly, you can begin to change your path. Gerber's mission isn't to discourage you. It's to wake you up. Because when you understand that being a great technician is not the same as being a great business owner, you unlock the power to grow, to scale, to reclaim your life, to build something that serves you, instead of something that enslaves you. This is just the beginning of the journey. Now that we've uncovered the myth, it's time to learn how to overcome it. And it all begins by shifting your identity from just a doer to a true business builder. In the next part, we'll look at the 3 people living inside every business owner: the entrepreneur, the manager, and the technician, and how learning to balance them could save your business and your sanity. Now that we've uncovered the big myth, that being good at a craft isn't enough to run a business, we need to dive into the real reason most small businesses spiral into chaos. It's not just because of what you do, it's who you are while doing it. Michael Gerber explains that inside every business owner, there isn't just one voice. There are 3 distinct personalities battling for control. 1. The entrepreneur, the dreamer. The entrepreneur is the visionary. This part of you thinks about the future, about what's possible, about scale, growth, and big ideas. The entrepreneur wants to create, not just survive. They ask, where is this business going in 5 years? How can we do this better, faster, smarter? What problems can we solve for the world? The entrepreneur dreams of systems that run on their own, multiple locations, people and roles they've designed. They're not in the kitchen baking pies, they're imagining a pie empire. 2. The manager, the organizer. Next, there's the manager. The manager craves structure, order, and predictability. They're the one inside you making schedules, setting rules, color-coding folders, and labeling everything. Where the entrepreneur thrives in chaos and possibility, the manager fears it. The manager wants consistency, reports filed, inventory tracked, deadlines met. They make sure the lights stay on. But here's the truth, the manager doesn't innovate. They maintain. And without a dream to manage, they often become rigid or fearful. 3. The technician, the doer. Finally, there's the technician, the heart of most new businesses. This is the person who does the work. The photographer taking photos, the baker baking pies, the plumber fixing pipes. The technician believes, if you want it done right, do it yourself. They live in the moment, task by task, day by day. But here's the problem. If the technician runs the show, they will resist growth. Because growth means delegation, systems, and change, all things the technician fears. Now imagine all 3 personalities, entrepreneur, manager, technician, living inside one person, you. They don't agree. The entrepreneur wants change. The manager fears it. The technician just wants to get back to work. And when one takes over completely, your business suffers. If the entrepreneur dominates, the business becomes chaotic. constantly changing direction. If the manager dominates, it becomes rigid, overly cautious, and stuck in routine. If the technician dominates, as it usually does, the business becomes a job, dependent entirely on you and unable to grow beyond your hands. Gerber says the secret to a healthy, growing business is balance. You must nurture your entrepreneur to keep dreaming, empower your manager to organize, and discipline your technician to follow systems, not resist them. In short, you must become all three and learn when to let each one lead. That's the first step toward freedom. You are not just a doer. You are a builder, a planner, and a visionary, if you choose to be. In the next part of our journey, we'll explore the concept that changed everything for Sarah and thousands of other small business owners. It's called the turnkey revolution. And it might just be the reason a teenager can run a McDonald's better than a passionate expert can run their dream shop. Get ready, because you're about to learn how to turn your business into a machine. Now let's imagine this. You walk into a McDonald's, anywhere in the world. Whether you're in Tokyo, Texas, or a tiny town in Spain, the fries taste the same. The process is the same. The experience is the same. And here's the kicker. It's often run by teenagers following instructions from a manual. So how is it that McDonald's, a business started by a couple of guys making burgers, became a global empire run by high school kids? Michael Gerber says the answer lies in something he calls the turnkey revolution. It's the single most important shift you must make if you ever want to grow a business that doesn't need you. What does turnkey mean? A turnkey business is like a machine. It's fully built. All the parts work together. And when someone buys it or steps in to operate it, they can simply turn the key, and it runs. No genius required. No founder involvement. Just a smooth, repeatable process. That's what McDonald's mastered, and what most small business owners ignore. Because we believe, no one can do it like I can. But that belief is a trap. Let's go back to Sarah. After months of exhaustion, she realizes something profound. She isn't running a business. She's simply baking pies in a shop she owns, alone. She stops, the business stops. So Gerber challenges her with this question. What if your business could run so well, so consistently, that you could replicate it hundreds of times, and never have to bake a single pie again? At first, Sarah laughs. But then she begins to think differently. She starts documenting everything. The exact recipe steps. How long to bake each pie. How to greet a customer. How to clean the kitchen. How to close the register. She creates manuals, like McDonald's. Soon she hires someone to follow her process. And guess what? They do it well. Because she built a system, not just a product. Gerber calls this the franchise prototype, a concept that's central to the turnkey revolution. Even if you never plan to franchise or sell your business, you should build it as if you will. Why? Because it forces you to think about consistency. Create processes anyone can follow. Build a company that's bigger than you. And this mindset shift changes everything. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter, so the business works without your constant presence. Ask yourself, could someone else handle your emails if they had your script? Could a new employee handle customers using a guide you wrote? Could your product be made by someone else with your checklist? If the answer is no, your business owns you. If the answer is yes, you're becoming a turnkey business owner. Gerber says something powerful. The business itself must be your product. Not the pie, not the service, but the entire business model, a smooth, predictable, scalable machine. Because when the business becomes a product, you can step away without chaos. Hire people who follow the system. Grow without being everywhere at once. This is how true freedom is built. So ask yourself, are you building a business that depends on you? Or are you designing one that runs without you? Because the more you turn your ideas into systems, the closer you get to real freedom. In the next chapter of this journey, we'll talk about what it really means to work on your business, not I in it, and why stepping back is the smartest move you'll ever make. Stay with me. Because now we're getting to the core of transformation. There's one sentence in the E-Myth Revisited that has changed thousands of lives. Work on your business, not I in it. At first glance, it sounds like a catchy slogan. But dig deeper, and it's a wake-up call for every overwhelmed business owner. Let's break it down. If you're like most people who start a small business, you're the technician, the doer, the expert. You started the business to escape your 9 to 5, but now you're working 16 hours a day doing everything yourself. Delivering the service, answering the phone, fixing the printer, writing the invoices, scrambling to make ends meet. And without realizing it, you've just built yourself a new job. Only now your boss is even tougher, you. This is what Gerber calls the technician's trap. Being so busy doing the work, you never step back to see the bigger picture. Working in your business means you're stuck in the daily grind. Working on your business means stepping back, asking, how can this run without me? Or what systems need to be built? Or what would a future team need to succeed here? You become the architect, not the laborer. You build the blueprint. You design the machine. Because that's what a real business is, a machine that can run without you being in every corner. Sarah, our pie shop owner, started doing just that. Instead of spending all her time in the kitchen, she began training others with step-by-step instructions, automating orders and inventory, scheduling shifts with clear roles and responsibilities. And slowly, she pulled herself out of the business and began to lead it. That's when growth became possible. Working on your business isn't about being hands-off. It's about being intentional. It's the difference between constantly reacting and proactively designing a business that can thrive. Because when you stop long enough to design, document, and delegate, you create space for true growth. So here's your challenge. Look at your daily tasks. Ask yourself, is this something I could teach someone else if I took the time to write it down? If yes, do it. Because every system you build is one step closer to freedom. In the next part, we'll walk through Gerber's 7-step business development process, your practical roadmap to finally turn your business into the vision you always dreamed of. Let's build something extraordinary. So now you understand, you can't build a real business by just doing the work. You need to build a system that does the work, with or without you. And for that, Michael Gerber offers a clear, practical blueprint. He calls it the business development process, and it's made up of 7 powerful steps. Let's walk through them. 1. Primary aim. What do you really want? Forget the business for a moment. Ask yourself, what do I want from my life? Because if your business doesn't support your life goals, you're just building another trap. Your primary aim is your life's vision, and your business should be designed to serve that. 2. Strategic objective, the vision of the business. Now zoom in. What kind of business are you actually building? How big will it be? How many people will it serve? Or what kind of impact will it have? Your strategic objective gives your business a purpose, a destination worth building systems for. 3. Organizational strategy. Build it like a company, not a solo hustle. Even if you're alone today, create an org chart. Define roles, CEO, marketing, finance, operations, and assign yourself to all of them if needed. Why? Because eventually you'll hire people to fill those roles. And this chart becomes your roadmap. 4. Management strategy. Create systems, not surprises. Now it's time to document. Write down how every task is done, customer calls, product packaging, service delivery, everything. Systems create consistency, and consistency builds trust. 5. People strategy. Hire for the role, not for magic. Don't hire rock stars. Build strong systems, then hire people who can follow them well. Your business shouldn't depend on a hero, it should depend on a reliable process. 6. Marketing strategy. Make it predictable. Good marketing isn't about being loud. It's about being clear and consistent. Define who your ideal customer is, what message speaks to them, and how you'll reach them again and again, like a repeatable machine. 7. System strategy. Build a machine that runs. This is the grand finale. Every part of your business, sales, service, hiring, finance, should be part of a larger, integrated system. That way the business works whether you're there or not. That's not just growth, that's freedom. This 7-step process is your path from chaos to clarity, from being overworked to being in control. It's not about perfection, it's about structure. And it starts with asking, If I stepped away tomorrow, would this still run? If the answer is no, now you know how to make it a yes. In our final part, we'll bring it all together. The big takeaway, Sarah's transformation, and the powerful mindset shift that will change your life and business forever. Are you ready? Let's go back to where we began. You started a business because you had a dream. Freedom, fulfillment, impact, a life on your own terms. But somewhere along the way, that dream got buried under invoices, burnout, and the weight of doing everything yourself. It's not your fault. You were never taught the difference between being great at your work and being great at building a business. That's what the E-Myth Revisited gave you. It gave you the truth. Your business isn't just about baking pies, fixing cars, writing code, or teaching yoga. It's about building a system, a structure that delivers value, creates consistency, and eventually runs with or without you. Michael Gerber says it best. Your business is not your life. It's the vehicle to give you more life. And the shift starts now. From technician to architect. From worker to leader. From overwhelmed to empowered. Remember Sarah? She thought she had to do it all herself. She thought she was the business. But once she began to build systems, delegate tasks, and step into the role of entrepreneur, everything changed. She didn't just build a bakery. She built a business. One that grew. One that gave her back her time. One that let her love pies again, without drowning in them. And if she could do it, so can you. So here's your mission starting today. 1. Reconnect with your primary aim. What kind of life are you really trying to build? 2. Define your strategic objective. Where is your business going? 3. Map out your org chart, even if you're a team of 1. 4. Start building one system at a time. Or write it down. Or make it teachable. Or make it replicable. 5. Stop believing, no one can do it like I can. Instead, start creating a process so someone else can. Because the real win is not in doing it all. It's in building something that works, even when you don't. Here's what the E-Myth Revisited taught us. Most small businesses fail because the owner stays stuck in the technician role. Inside every founder lives the entrepreneur, manager, and technician, and all three must work in balance. Success comes from building systems, not just doing the work. Your business should run like a machine, predictable, teachable, and scalable. Your business is a tool to give you more life, not take it away. Thank you for walking through this journey. This was more than a book summary. This was a mindset reset, a call to dream smarter, build wiser, and live freer. You are not just a technician. You are a creator of systems, a designer of freedom, a true entrepreneur. So go out there and build not just a business, but a life you love. Thank you.